Well, top health agencies in the U.S. appear to be in sort of a leadership limbo. It includes the CDC, the FDA, and the National Institutes of Health. Get this, nearly half of the positions listed on the leadership pages for those agencies are temporary appointments or they're just vacant altogether.
Since last August, the CDC has been led by 3 different directors. The FDA commissioner was fired last month, and the agency's second-in-command seat is still empty. Also, no surgeon general has been appointed yet during President Trump's entire second term.
For more on this, we are joined by NBC News health reporter Aria Bendix. Aria, good morning. Always great to have you here on set with us. So you really reported this out. You spoke with 10 current and former officials across these agencies. What did they say is going on here?
Right. So this is a highly unusual situation to have so many open roles across all these agencies at once. I think we have a breakdown of the numbers: 15 positions at NIH, 14 at CDC, 10 at FDA, either have temporary leaders or just none at all. Of course, not all these vacancies are connected, but one thing I heard over and over in my conversations is that the Trump administration appears to be getting rid of some of the outsiders or disruptors that were installed last year as part of the MAHA movement, and then putting in, or at least nominating, more conventional candidates ahead of the midterm elections.
So what's the reaction or response we're getting from the White House, from HHS, about all these vacancies?
So the White House told us in a statement that they are still aligned with the MAHA agenda. HHS told us it's aggressively recruiting new candidates, and these vacancies have not slowed down their work. But one of the fears I've heard from former officials is that the Trump administration might be slow walking the appointment of new leaders, either to maintain its influence over these agencies or even maybe weaken their power in federal government.
Joe just mentioned how we're still without a surgeon general. We're a year and a half into Trump's term here. I mean, how unusual is that?
Right. So believe it or not, actually, under the Obama administration, we actually waited 17 months for a Surgeon General then. We're about that same milestone right now, but this is kind of a different situation because Trump has nominated 3 people for this role under his second term so far. The first 2 didn't advance because there were concerns about their academic credentials. This new candidate, Nicole Saphir, appears to be a bit more traditional in the sense that she holds an active medical license and largely supports vaccination with some exceptions. So she might have a greater chance of getting nominated by the Senate, and that actually might be why she was picked recently.
You spoke, I think, with a former CDC director who compared the federal health infrastructure right now to Swiss cheese, saying, quote, the holes are getting bigger and bigger.
Wow.
What's at stake if these positions aren't filled permanently?
Right. It's an important question. I mean, we can think about what happens when anyone gets a temporary boss. Everyone knows that they're going to leave at some point, and so they might not have the authority to make long-term decisions for the agency. The broader concern here is what happens in a public health crisis like we're seeing with Ebola or measles. Is the CDC or NIH being sidelined? Are we able to tap into their full resources? And that's important because these are the experts that are really guiding us through those public health responses.
All right, Aria, thank you so much. Great to have you with us.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.